Hi and welcome to this video in which we go further with agentic capabilities in Mendix. This video builds on from a previous video, which I'll link in the notes, but essentially what we're going to do is, so we've already built a basic agent and connected it to an LLM. And what we'll do in this video is give that agent some capability, some custom capability, so that it can become truly something useful. This will be a very simple demo, but I hope I can illustrate the point. Let's rerun, or rather revisit the app that we built previously, and I'll log back in. So when I log in, now I don't see a configuration screen, I see a bunch of showcase demos that we could play around with. And once you've connected your model to your app, you can actually get these to work. So for example, if I wanted to demo this single chat one, all I have to do is go into it and select the model that we previously configured. And now, I can start talking to an agent and ask it questions, and it will provide, answers, and it's talking to that large language model. So that's great. You can unlock and start playing around with the demos in the Showcase app. That took a little while, but here we go. We've got a response to the question. There is an interesting demo here that I want to point out, though, and it is this concept of function calling. So it's a function. So let's talk about what that is. There's a full description in here, and in fact, there's this kind of wizard interface that you can go through. But essentially, a function calling tool calling, as it's also known, gives your agent access to some tools that it can leverage to execute a task. So there's a full description right up in here. Feel free to go ahead and read it. Each of these sort of lays out part of this demonstration. So for example, this data set is a bunch of IT tickets, and we can go through and invoke our model like we did before. We can select the model that we want it to use. Now, the premise here is that if we've got a bunch of data in our database and we are able to provide our AI agent with some tools that it can use to query the database and get answers, then we can actually ask our AI agent for information from the database that is going to be useful and helpful. So it's not like asking ChatGPT to answer a question. This is being able to ask it about question, and the answer to that question can only be found in the database of the application. So for example, what is the status of ticket one? It's these pre-built questions. I'll click send. It's sending that query to the LLM with some instructions, and one of those instructions is you have a tool by which you can query the database. So it goes and finds the information and then provides a response here. Ticket one is currently in progress, and when we take a look, we can see ticket one and the status is in progress. So that's the power of adding a tool to an agent. Now I'm trying to close this window. It doesn't seem to want to close. Found a little bug here. Go on, go away. There we go. So let's go and give our agent, the one we built, a tool that it can use to help answer questions. We don't have a tool yet, so let's go back into Mendix and build one. For this, I'll just create a new module within our project. I'll call this my custom module. And just because of the way this app's set up with security, it's in demo mode, I don't need to go and configure a lot of stuff. I can just create a microflow within that module. And this will be called act day info. tool. Why not? Day info tool. So the premise here is, we could ask our LLM a bunch of questions, but when we ask about today, what day is it today? I want it to use this tool to tell it something about today. Now, we could get quite fancy, but I'm just going to create a variable, a string variable. And the string variable will, it's just a string, and the information within the string is going to be today is my birthday. Okay, very simple microflow, and the endpoint is just going to return the variable. This is the key thing about these tools is they have to return a string. You could do a bunch of things in here. You could query the database. You could have an input variable, such as a parameter, which might be a string, and you could use that parameter to query the database. Basically, any logic you can come up with, you can build it in a microflow like this in a tool. The only condition is the output has to be a string. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to rerun the app. Okay, so our app is now redeployed, and we can go and view it and log back in. Now I'll go back to our agent builder, back to our simple chat agent. I'm going to create a new version, and this time I have the ability to add a tool. So I'm going to go, there's two types of tools you can add: MCP tools, microflow tools. This one's a microflow tool. Now the tool is in which module? Well, we created a new module called my custom module. Which microflow? It'll only give you microflows that have a single string output as a variable. Day info tool. Now, the name and the description are important. The LLM will use the name and the description to figure out what tool can help it accomplish the goal that it has. So if, let's say, you have 10 or 15 tools, it's important to give the LLM a good description of what this tool does so it knows when to use it. So this will be the today info, and the description is use this tool when the user asks about today. I hope that's a good description. We'll see how we go. And I'll click save here. So I could ask it a question like, what color is this sky? And it should give me some generic answer. Sky's kind of blue. If I ask it, however, something about today, what day is today, it should know that it has a tool that can help answer questions about today. And the answer that will come back is that string we put in, that is today's my birthday. So let's see what it says. Happy birthday. I hope you're having an amazing day. Let me know if there's anything special you'd like to talk about on your special day. So, it's been able to utilize the tool we created, very simple tool, but I hope this gets you curious about the kinds of tools you could create. Really, this is a big part of what this whole agentic AI conversation is about. An agent should be given a prompt, and not just a prompt, but also tools to be able to do a specific function, and you want to rein in the scope of that and make sure your agents have a specific mission and the right tools to complete their job. But this is quite at the core of what the agentic discussion is about. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've had some success in creating some tools of your own as you follow along. And yeah, till next time.